On May 16, 2018, MyRepublic came into the Singapore carrier space with their Uno and Ultimate plans, deeming them as plans for the friends of MyRepublic. These friend plans were really cheap, starting at $8 in a market where the cheapest plan you could get was $15. And they were limited to those who pre-registered their interest previously. However, the whole system was based on promo codes which had unlimited uses, so basically anyone who could Google could easily grab one and nab a plan for themselves. I was one of them and planned to do a review of them, but MyRepublic slowly phased them out in the next 2-3 months with their new smart plans, so I just didn't bother doing it. In the year or more that has passed since the discontinuation, the mobile carrier space in Singapore has changed dramatically. And MyRepublic has been rather silent, not really adjusting their plans much. But in her last week, MyRepublic has reintroduced their Uno and Ultimate plans. But with the Uno plan being $10 more than it was previously, it just doesn't grab the same amount of value that it had previously. Hey guys, it's Adriel, and today we're going to take a quick review of the MyRepublic Uno18 plan. Plan-wise, it comes with the following: 1 GB of fast speed data, with any data after that being boundless data. And if you want fast feedback, you can add data packages. 1000 minutes of outgoing calls with free incoming, 1000 SMSs with free incoming, caller ID and roaming are included. For the roaming side, it's free SMSs in, calls out when you're roaming, or text outgoing is pay-as-you-go rates. Data roaming is based on data packages that you can add in the app. Registration was just simple. You just go to the website, choose your plan, register for an account, choose a number, add your address, add your credit card information, and that's it. And as of today, there is no registration or shipping fee. You do have to choose at the decision of choosing a number whether you want to port in or make a new number. You cannot port in after choosing a number. And while the process is simple, if you have any questions or need any support, MyRepublic has a phone support hotline. They also have the typical email ticketing system, so if that's more of your forte, you can go that route as well. MyRepublic is an MVNO that piggybacks off StarHub's network, so in terms of reception wise, if you're happy with StarHub's reception, you will be happy with MyRepublic. Like all the MVNOs in Singapore, they do not have VoLTE. As such, call quality is just acceptable over MyRepublic/StarHub's 3G network. Additionally, there is no MMS support. MyRepublic's network speed hasn't been the greatest though. Back in the day, it used to be one of the fastest MVNOs that I've used. But in the last few months or so, I haven't seen speeds that great. The highest I've seen so far is about 20-30 megabits down, which is, to be fair, plenty acceptable. And I've seen reports of people who are still within their fast speed quota getting 0.5 megabits down for some reason. MyRepublic claims that this is because of StarHub. Whatever cause it may be, it's just not a good look on MyRepublic. But I haven't had that bad experiences when it comes to MyRepublic's data. It's been plenty fast and social media and everything works pretty well. Once that 1 GB of data is consumed though, you are then pushed into boundless data. MyRepublic states that the boundless data is unlimited data at reduced speed. On their website, it says that it's still possible to surf the web, check email, use Google Maps, chat, make WhatsApp calls, and even stream music. And no, they're not lying per se, it's true, it works, but their boundless data will make you want to bound yourself. The speeds are atrociously slow. I'm talking about 386 kilobits down and about 80 kilobits per second up. Yes, it's that bad. In comparison, 01, even the cheapest $13.90 plan, throttles at 0.5 to 1 megabits a second, and symmetrical, so up and down. Okay, but what does it mean realistically? Browsing the web, if the site is majority text, or even RSS, it loads quite fast and quite well. If there's more heavy content such as pictures or whatever, it can take a long time to load, like a minute or two, to load the whole page. Though that being said, usually the text loads first, so you can still read. But the pictures are actually important content, well, you better wait for it as your browser paints it line by line as it gets the data slowly. Email checking and Google Maps work fine as long as you don't have heavy attachments or a lot of pictures that you're trying to load in Google Maps. As far as chat goes, pure text-based messaging is fine, though I do find the tick marks appearing slower than on fast speed data. Sending photos can take a long time though. due to the atrocious upload. Sending a picture on WhatsApp can take a minute. Sending a picture on Telegram where it's not as compressed, forget about it. It doesn't even send. You actually have to compress the picture before you can send it on Telegram. What works for me is actually taking a screenshot of the photo, then sending it through Telegram, because that's the only way you can actually send a photo through Telegram on MyRepublic's boundless data. Voice calls over something like WhatsApp work fine, but the latency isn't that great, especially if your phone is doing anything slightly data intensive in the background. Music streaming over something like Spotify works. Menus take forever to load, but once you get in your playlist and hit play, it generally loads without buffering or waiting. YouTube only works on qualities like 240p. You might be able to push 360p if there's not much things in the background, but if there's a lot of things in the background, sometimes 240p won't even load. Boundless data is also strictly single task use only. Basically, sans basic task, MyRepublic's boundless data is a miserable experience that just pushes you into the app to purchase more fast speed data. On the other hand though, at least you don't get charged extra, so yay. And don't expect groundbreaking pricing on that data. The pricing on MyRepublic's Boost are pretty expensive, ranging from $3.75 to $7 per gigabyte. It looks pretty subpar as carriers such as StarHub, Circles, and Gomo give better dollars per gigabyte compared to MyRepublic when looking at big amounts of data. For small amounts of data top-ups, MyRepublic does take the win here, but do remember that all the other plans come with at least 15 gigabytes of data as well. At least the app works pretty well, and pretty much everything can be done in the app, such as data boost, changing of plan details. If you want to load previous bills, you can do that as well. I just wish that the Android app came with a data widget so you can monitor it from your home screen. MyRepublic's roaming data packages are pretty good though. All your packages last for 30 days and they don't have any activation costs. As far as overall cost of the package though, they aren't the most competitive, especially if you compare them to M1 and StarHub. And so ultimately, doesn't seem that competitive. And yeah, kind of is. MyRepublic's $18 pricing is quite peculiar. If the Uno plan remained at $8 a month, or maybe just slightly more expensive, maybe around $15 at most, MyRepublic might have a shot here. It is priced high enough to compare the low mid-range options of almost all the carriers out there, especially when you factor in current promotions that all of them are running. And all of them come with at least 15 gigabytes of data compared to the puny 1 gigabyte that Uno has, basically putting them in a league of their own. Factoring out current promotional pricing will tell a different story, but in today's cutthroat market, that's not a thing. With its low amount of data and its cheap price point, it also competes with 01's 1390 plan, which yes, while has less text and calls, has more usable internet speeds. With its current pricing, it has one big strength and maybe one small strength. The big strength is its calls and texts. That 1000 minutes and 1000 SMSs. If you call more than 200 minutes or text more than 200 texts and use a max of 3 gigabytes of data a month, yeah, MyRepublic is the cheapest option. And it has a small strength, which is data roaming. For some places, it is the cheapest, and it doesn't have the activation fees which carriers like M1 has. However, in terms of pricing, it's generally a toss-up between StarHub, MyRepublic, and M1, so it's not exactly a huge advantage as well. Need a lot of calls and texts and more than 3 gigabytes of data? Go with M1, who recently introduced new plans that have 1000 texts, calls, and 30 gigabytes of data for $25 a month. Don't need the calls and SMS plus there's 01, which gives a better browsing experience in general. Or Red One, which is the cheapest plan now and has 2 gigs of fast speed data. Outside of the user base that needs an abundance of calls and texts, and by the way, never go over 1000 because after you go over 1000, no way to add any more packages after that, really. Maybe for example someone who works in the service industry where you have to call a lot of customers on like deliveries and stuff like that. Outside of those people, it's really hard to recommend the Uno plan, especially in today's market where we're doing a lot of our texting, a lot of our calls through internet applications such as WhatsApp, WeChat, and all the other messaging apps. There are so many out there. None of MyRepublic's competitors beat it in every single aspect, no. But generally they do offer a more balanced package in today's digital world. All this information is as accurate as of 21st May. There might be changes in the future. If there are, I'll try to put it in the description. I think that MyRepublic really needs to shake up their whole plans in order to be competitive in today's market, especially with the recent release of M1's new plans, which beat all of MyRepublic plans on every front. but we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.